Hi, everybody. So, do you remember last week in science, we talked about some of the questions that all of you had about the seeds we've been planting together? I answered a lot of the questions that I knew or that I could figure out, but there were some questions that I did not know the answers to. And that's something that happens when you're an adult. Just because your body grows up and you become a grown up, it doesn't mean that you also know all the answers in the world. So, I needed to have some help. So, I have a friend who's a scientist, Miss Quino, and she helped answer all of those extra questions that I needed a little bit of help with. See what she has to say.
Hi, my name is Miss Quino, and I'm a science teacher in Philadelphia, PA. And Mr. Rubenstein asked me to answer some science questions for you. I heard you're learning about plants, and that's awesome because I love plants and I even teach my big kids about plants. So I'm really excited to answer some of your questions that you had.
Thank you so much, Ms. Quino, for making some time. We're really, really, really excited. And we have just, I think, a few questions that we needed some help with.
Awesome. I'd love to help.
Thank you. So, our first question that the kindergartners are wondering is how much sunlight does a plant need?
That's a great question. So, the amount of sunlight depends on the type of plant. So, if you think about all the plants that you know of, some are flowers, some are cacti that they live in the desert where it's really hot and really dry. Some live in the jungle where it might be a little bit darker, wetter. All of those plants have different needs. And so, a plant that lives in the desert needs a lot of sun versus a plant that lives in the jungle or like a swamp needs less sun. So if you have a cactus at home, it's going to grow best if it's by a window. So I showed Mr. Rubenstein. Here's my desert plants. They're right by the window because they need as much sun as possible. And if they're not put in the sun, they'll actually start to rot and die. So you really need to get a lot of sun for the cacti. And other plants that aren't originally from the desert, if you put them in a shady room, they'll be fine.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, it depends on the type of plant.
It depends on the type of plant. Yeah, what they like best, basically.
Okay. And then the next question we have is why is a seed brown and not the color that the flower is at the
Yeah.
end?
Yeah, I love this question. So think about what a seed's job is. A seed's job is to grow, right? And a flower's job is to attract what we call pollinators. And pollinators are bugs and birds that come by and they grab some of the pollen on the flower and they help make seeds and help the plant spread its seeds everywhere or make new baby plants. So a seed, it doesn't have to be pretty because it doesn't have to attract birds or bugs yet. It's underneath the ground. No one's seeing it yet. So all its job is to grow. And once it's an adult plant, it's grown out of the ground, it can be seen by birds and bugs. It needs to be pretty. So what it does is it makes itself bright pink, bright yellow, bright red, really attracts birds. And that way it can get those pollinators over to help it pass on its seeds to the next generation and make babies.
I didn't know that. That's such a special thing. I didn't know that that was their job, like in that part. That's really good to know.
Yeah, that's why flowers are so pretty.
All right. So, our next question is what are the seeds made out of?
Have you ever eaten an egg?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I love eggs. So eggs are so delicious, and humans are wired to love eggs because they have a ton of really good nutrients in them. So eggs have protein, which is in meat and beans, and we're going to talk about why it's in beans. It has carbs, which are like potato or cereal, oatmeal, if you like that stuff, and it has fat, which is like butter or cream. And seeds have all that really good nutrients, the same nutrients that eggs have in them. So an egg's job is to grow and use all that energy that's in there and grow into a little baby chick. A seed is just like an egg, and it's going to grow into a baby plant. So it's like a little backpack full of snacks essentially that it's going to use later in life. So the seed is holding on to all this food, and eventually it's going to use that food to grow into a big plant.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good way to explain it. I just keep thinking, like, that makes a lot of sense. It has to hold on to all the things that it needs for that trip of growing up.
Right, because plants, they eventually can make their own food using the sun. That's why they need the sun. But when a seed is underneath the ground, it can't see the sun. It can't make its own food. So it needs to pack up everything that it needs for later and hold on to it until it can go and reach the sun and turn green.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That's so cool. Plants are so interesting. There's so much going on
I love plants.
beneath the surface. All right, our next one is why does a seed have to grow into a flower, a plant, or a tree? We're wondering.
Yeah, there are so many different types of plants on the planet, and that is really important because every plant has its own job. Some plants, their job is to grow as big and as tall as possible, like a tree. And what they're doing too is they're sucking up all these bad gases out of the atmosphere for us, which is beneficial for us. They help us breathe. And some plants, like grasses, their job is to grow really, really fast and just spread all over the place.
Mhm.
Flowers, they have their own special job where they become really beautiful. And like we said, they attract pollinators to help them make seeds and spread that all over. And even things like mosses, their job is to grow on places that other plants can't grow, like rocks. They're the first plants to take over an area. And that's really, really important. Think about like an island, it's just all rock. All of a sudden, it starts growing plants. The first plant to get there is a moss. And that is the one plant who has a very important job of growing on rocks. So each plant has a very specific, really important, but also really different job from other plants.
Mhm.
And all of that information is stuck in that backpack. So in that seed, it has food for later.
Mhm.
And it also has kind of like instructions, like you need to do this job when you get big.
Mhm. I see. So, Ms. Quino, you're saying that inside each seed, they know if they're going to have to be a plant, if they're going to be a flower, or if they're going to be a tree?
Exactly.
Okay. And then the last question we have is how does a seed open up underground?
That is a really cool question. So when you started out as a baby, you were teeny tiny, right? And on the outside, it looks like your parts got a lot bigger, right? As you're growing, you're getting bigger. The seed is so tiny that the plant starts out as. So if it wants to grow into a big adult plant, it's not going to have enough room in that tiny little seed, that little backpack, right? So as it grows, it actually breaks open that seed, kind of like popcorn. If you've ever made popcorn, you know those little kernels, and then all of a sudden they go poof and they get really big. Same thing happens underneath the ground. So as the seed is growing, it pops open. It's also absorbing some water because plants need water. You probably know this, right? And um, usually what it'll do is it'll pop out a couple of the first baby leaves and push up through the dirt and look for the sunlight, basically.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
hmm Plants are cool.
They are. Well, thank you so much. Those are all the questions that we needed a scientist's help with.
Of course. Happy to help. Happy to help.
Thank you so much, Miss Quino.
Have a good day.
You too. Whoa. Miss Quino knows so much about plants and seeds. That was really amazing. I learned so many things that I actually never knew before. What are some of the things that you learned? Were you surprised by anything, or did you learn anything for the first time? Let's hear.